Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire.
All right, welcome to another Railway Empire video. In this one, we're going to do our remaining scenario that's available to us in the pre-order beta. That's the, up here in the north, the cattle drive. It's considered medium difficulty. I've had a sneak peek. It's hard, very hard. I think it's harder than the Gold Rush. I think it's harder than the one we finished just recently, the Commodore. But let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm just missing something. We're going to do this on normal, and if finish it on normal, then I can come back and do it on hard, and then maybe even on very hard, because I want to see what the difference is and what does that really mean. I don't think it means the AI competitor plays better, but there may be some aspects of that. So we'll see. Anyway, this is going to be the setup. Normal, realistic, normal, normal. We start here in Sioux Falls. Let's go, and I will try to come back and tell you the strategy, the actual target later. I can't waste time at the beginning. There's a lot going on in this one. I need to get going. I want to use the trickster because the strategy that I'm going to attempt here has a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of buying, and it's nice to get discounts on locomotives. I tend to run a lot of trains anyway, but I definitely want that auction discount. That's really going to help. So let's change our name here. All right, let's go. As I said, we're going a lot of it. When you see the task list, and I'll show it to you in just a minute, but I got to get going here. One of my first things I want to do is I want to buy the meat factory in Sioux Falls. So in order to do that, the way I'm going to make that happen, I'm going to go out here and place an offer on the meat industry in Omaha. And she is going to try to overbid me. She's going to overbid me again. I think we'll let her have it at this point. So hopefully that's going to tie up her cash, and I can go over here and buy the one I wanted. For a reasonable price. There we go, one down. We got what we wanted. Now, to make that profitable, we need to be able to sell the stuff in Omaha, and we need to be able to get cattle in there to make it go. So the first thing I want to do is set up our station in Omaha. And we build it where it cuts her off and allows us to keep going. And we know we're coming in. Let's go here. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, let's get some, get some trains going between Sioux Falls and Omaha and priority meat. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Now we need money. Let's take our newfound wealth now to make that investment in that meat industry pay off. We need to start pumping meat into it. We could even at this point try to own that cattle ranch, but I believe if we try to bid on that, we could leave ourselves with no money to make any money. So let's go ahead and get this thing going first. $263 looks pretty good. And I'd like to give it 3 supply towers, so let's we'll have to just be patient now. Actually, one of the things we can do actually is set up. We actually even have a double line. So let's run. Let's just stop before I mess up. Let's make sure they drive on the right. Notice that 29.2 for these trains. That's nice. Let's get another one going. Why is he stopped? Why did he stop? Somehow this all right, defect. The train should not stop. Did he magically jump forward, or did we lose a train? Where is it? Oh, he's on his way back. That was just a mistake. That was we'd have to call that a defect. See, that one that broke down, where is he? That guy. Missed him. We're going to end up with about 7 trains running this line to keep this factory as full as we can, and of course we can ship them as fast as we can. So let's see how we're looking. Now we're starting to hit all 3 of our early objectives, and we've got to start on our second one. So we had to buy that meat industry in order to produce meat. We had to produce it ourselves, and we're going to have to buy a cattle ranch here eventually too, but we just couldn't swing doing both of them at once. It was tempting, but couldn't really be done. Now we've got to get repairs set up here or we're going to start having bad problems. Now that repair, he's probably being serviced. Yep, they're all ready for it now. That's going to slow us down a bit, but we needed to get going. We'll spread the repairs out eventually when we start having more money, obviously. Right now, we're on a very tight budget. A mediator would be nice if we're ready to buy something else, but we don't have any kind of money to do anything like that, so we don't have to worry about them. Percent construction of all buildings, that could help. That would be nice. You can see the utilization. We're not high enough to worry about expanding yet because we're not even keeping it busy with what we've got. What we need are more trains coming out of here. We got like one more. There we go. Okay, we're finished one. We're in good shape on the other two. We're looking very good in many, many ways. I don't want to miss out on these guys, and I do want this accountant 10% reduction on new locomotives. That's lovely. Now let's get these people working. Here. Yeah, we need money more than we need a tech at this point. So we've got 7 trains running there. That should be good. Here, let's get this bonus while we can. It keeps popping up. It'll help the Sioux Falls grow. We just need one train to run, and we can link it up with this existing line. It won't cause too much traffic. I don't know if we got our bonus or not. I think we missed it. We'll do our merge. It's a right-hand merge, so it'll work correctly. And we'll just run one train full of veggies to Sioux Falls. We can make a little money on it, and mainly we'll just help boost the growth in Sioux Falls, which will definitely be a good thing as we go forward. Okay, now next thing we need to do, Sioux Falls is growing. We need to bump this. Well, do we have enough? Are we getting enough? We're starting to get better utilization. It's starting to trend upward, level off for us. We've got plenty of cattle now. We're starting to get decent cattle in, so it's time for us to level up and bump that up to 300,000. We need to, these guys aren't quite hitting these supply towers at just the right time. Let's give them another one. Okay. So let's just save up for 300,000. The other thing is this competitor is, they're tough. I'd love to buy her early. Oh man. Or at least buy a huge chunk of her, because she, in this one, I believe, the way it's set up, when you have these scenarios where it's one competitor, they I think it's all set up where they're going to go and how they're going to attack you, so to speak. And they already have. Look at this. She already has a strong line, and she's already, if you think about how it works in free mode, how we just race away from them, she's keeping pace with us practically. She's just practically making money as fast as we are. So anything we could do to buy her out early, or just own part of her even, would be a good thing. So we're going to look at that as soon as we can. As soon as it makes sense for us to try to start buying out Beatrix, we are going to. Because if we wait too long, I have a feeling she's just going to be very expensive. Not that we can do it, but man, oh man. Not to mention the fact that if we get to her early, she's over here, way over here. She has Denver, which is a bigger city. It's growing faster, and it's a bigger city to start with. So I think we'd love to have that lined up for us. And here's how we're going to get some growth going. More growth in Sioux Falls. We'll run a line. Like so, and we're going to have to expand this station. And run a line straight to Pierre. Pierre, if you'll notice, has beer. Get that beer flowing back, beer and meat. These two can help each other grow, and the main thing is to grow Sioux Falls so we can keep expanding that meat. And I know I lost sight of, I was going to expand the meat, but I want to get that beer coming in first. And she just stole one of our staff. Here we go, 10% extra freight revenue. That's good. By the way, I do not recommend using a warehouse for this. If you put a warehouse here and you start shipping your cattle all the way in here, let's say, to a warehouse, you're only going to get paid for this little tiny bit as far as that freight, and you're losing out on a lot of good stuff. So here we go. Good start. We were in 1851. We finished our 1853 task. Sioux Falls is continuing to grow. If we had the money, we could even, well, somebody already beat us to it, put an industry in there. We could actually throw in a museum and keep it growing. The main thing we want to do here, of course, is expand. But the first thing we want to do is get this line going to Pierre, because it will make us money and help us grow. And in fact, in some ways, it'll help us grow more than that museum, or certainly as much as. But it's also paying for itself. That museum, we don't get any kickback on the admission prices to the museum, so it's a sunk cost. This line will be a good cost, so to speak. It'll make us money. We need 116 and 146 to finish this off. All right, let's get 6 trains going between Pierre and Sioux Falls. About to clone the wrong train here. It's an easy mistake to make. 2, 3, 4. 5. And 6. So now we've got a solid line running here. And why are we getting... we need to push. This is such a long line, this one here, that we probably need to have maintenance here as well. So let's go ahead and do that as soon as we get enough money. Okay, that's probably a good place to stop this first one. So what did we do? We bought this meat factory by kind of running a little head fake. We started bidding here. If we'd won it cheaply, great, but our competitor tried to bid us up a couple of times. We let them have it. That tied up their money. Then we got over here and got to buy this one for a decent price, the meat factory, I mean, in Sioux Falls. Then we knew we had to run cattle over there, so we ran that over there after we set up a line here, which would make us money and deliver meat. So now we've got cattle coming into Sioux Falls. We've got meat going to Omaha. Remember, and this is something I should have shown you, sorry, that they have this meat export. This building takes unlimited meat supplies and delivers to the cities on the East Coast. In other words, we have an unlimited demand for meat. Anytime we can create meat and get it to Omaha, someone will buy it. So that's lovely when you have unlimited demand. So we're going to take advantage of that. We've got a little side veggie business coming in here. We might even throw in some sugar or something later to keep them going. We want to keep Sioux Falls growing because we've got to keep that meat production up, because look what's coming to us next. 1,000 loads of meat to Omaha. And then we also got to buy a cattle ranch so we can produce cattle. And we got to get, there are only 4, I can tell you, I've looked it over, there are only 4 cattle ranches on the entire map, and we've got to get them all. So again, that's a good place for us to stop. Off to a good start, but we are far, and I do mean far, from finished on this one. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helps you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next installment as we try to beat the cattle drive. Thank you.